What's going on, you guys? Johnny, what's up, man? What's up? Merry Christmas to all of you guys, especially, you know, today's the day, the 25th, of course. Hope you guys had a good one, man. Just wanted to hop on here real quick. Um, like I said, wish you guys a Merry Christmas. And yeah, I like I said, I hope you guys had a good time. Definitely hope you guys had a good time last night or today, pretty much. A lot of people do celebrate it like the 24th, Christmas Eve, like in the afternoon or in the night. But you know me, man, I'm just chilling here. Nothing much to do, today. And I had a little bit of time on my hands, man, so I decided to hop on here and just join to see who's on here. Horror Fanatic 25. What's up, man? Um, yeah, like I said, hope you guys had a good one. And I actually will be showing you guys. I did actually, as present, as present wise, I did get a few presents that are, horror related. So that is something that I will be showing you guys, and it is some pretty cool stuff, if you ask me. But yeah, and I kind of pretty much just wanted to base this little live stream kind of like with question that kind of has to do, of course, with the holiday, the Christmas holidays. And of course, since us horror heads, there's also a lot of Christmas horror movies. And that's kind of like my main question. I even put it in the title to you guys is like what do you guys consider to be the best, or you know your favorite horror movie, Christmas movie? And I do have a few. Actually, I haven't seen too many, as a matter of fact. I've seen a few. A lot of them not so, I wouldn't say consider like great films, because most of them that I've seen, for example, I'll give you guys an example. Like when you mention Christmas horror movies, like one of the first ones that comes to mind, and the reason it comes to mind, man, because this is a movie that I wouldn't say I love, I loved growing up, but it's always like you could say it kind of fell, as a cult classic. Throughout the years, it created a fan base. Like I said, even though the movie wasn't that great, the whole idea wasn't that great. But that is Jack Frost. Now, like I said, when Christmas horror movies comes to mind, that's one of the first few that come to mind. And it's been a long time since I seen that movie. And Jack Frost 2, which I actually not too long ago I came across in at a used DVD store, and I picked it up. But yeah, so there's quite a few, and there's a few other ones that I have seen throughout the time, but not as many as I should. And as a matter of fact, I think they just came out. I think it's a horror comedy. Not like this month. They just came out with a new film. I've something Silent Night. I'm not too sure, but it's a new movie. I guess it's like a horror comedy about Christmas, Santa. I've seen like billboards everywhere. But awesome Black Christmas 19. Yeah, man. Yeah, and I've actually decided for myself Black Christmas. Probably, like I said, just like you said, Horror Fanatic, one of the best uh of all time, Christmas horror movies. And that's the one I picked out, man. Black Christmas. Simply because this is like a classic, man. It didn't just spark up like the Christmas horror movies. Of course, it's probably one of the better ones. Um, and I've also kind of realized a lot of the Christmas horror movies are mostly like they lean towards more to the horror comedy side. But this one, man, like I said, it just wasn't the first one to really, how do you say, to really like evolve the Christmas horror movies, but it evolved the horror franchise as as his genre, because pretty much Halloween, Friday the 13th, all the classic slasher movies were pretty much inspired by this man, 1974, because this was pretty much like the first slasher film, you could say. And yeah, man, even if you watch it, it really gives you that vibe, the slasher vibe. Machete Slasher, what's up, yo? Merry Christmas, bro. Hope you have had a good one, man. I know it's been a while, but I definitely send mine to yours. But yeah, man, hope you're doing good, Machete Slasher. Glad to see you on here, man. What's up, porn star JR? What's up, man? That part five mask, nice. Thank you, man. This is actually a custom hockey mask that I made from like a blank. I just did a quick little paint job. Uh, but thank you, man. Appreciate it. Next to it, it would be Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah, exactly, man. And actually, that film, I've always been trying to find it on DVD or Blu-ray. I've actually come across it, man, but it's actually kind of pricey. Even at like, the typical used DVD stores, I've come across it, man, but it is a little pricey. Even the sequel they have for it, little pricey, and I heard it wasn't that great, but for sure, man, that was my second one in the list. Um, Silent Night, Deadly Night, because it's just one of those, like, that's like just another one of those classics. But definitely for sure, man, my top one, like, for sure, I'm gonna have to give it to Black Christmas, man, because like I said, it kind of like, this is what kind of started like the slasher kind of horror genre. And I know this was 1974, you could say. We had like Leatherface was one of the first few, before Myers. But Leatherface wasn't really like the you could say, yeah, the character Leatherface later on it evolved like as a slasher type of thing. But in 1974, when the original came out, the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it wasn't really a slasher. It was more like kind of like a uh more of like a gore fest kind of thing. Like, I'm not like, but not like a slasher type of thing. But this one, man, you could definitely tell. And as a matter of fact, I think I actually will be rewatching this, man, tonight. Um, yeah, because this is a pretty great film. This is a movie that I kind of try to watch every year, during this time of the year. But yeah, man, definitely Silent Night, Deadly Night is the one after Black Christmas for sure. I'm gonna try to look on eBay, man, see if I could come across it, for a little more lower price. Nice Roy Burns mask. Thank you, Brandon. Loves movies. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Is that just the NECA? No, this is actually not the NECA. I do actually, my brother owns the NECA Roy Burns mask, but this is a custom made that, I made from a blank. So, wait, I got the Scream Factory Blu-ray of it. Is it out of print yet? The original first two films. I'm not really too sure, man. Yeah, this one right here is the Scream Factory. Of course, they release a lot of classic films, and this one I bought, I believe, a year ago, last year on around the winter season, around Christmas time. I bought it actually at Best Buy, and it was a Scream Factory, and yeah, I had to get it, man. But I'm not really sure if they're out of print. I haven't really, like I said, I think, have I seen it recently at Best Buy? I don't think so, but yeah, they were floating around Best Buy about a year ago this time. But maybe check on eBay or online. But did you watch part two? My favorite Christmas horror flick. As actually, Johnny, I have not seen part two, and actually, I've never really kind of heard like of sequels. Like, when it comes to Black Christmas, all I kind of ever heard was the classic movie, and then the crappy remakes. I believe they have two remakes, if I'm not mistaken. Or I don't know, or I don't know if one of the remakes is considered part two. I'm not really sure, man. But I know this is the only Black Christmas I've seen. Um, but yeah, I will check it out. Because also, I believe Screen Factory did release the first two Black Christmas on Blu-ray. But I'm not really too sure. But yeah, man, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know if I'm gonna try to like look it up on the Hulu or the one of the streaming platforms. Maybe after I'm done watching this, I might still kind of feel in the Christmas spirit or whatever, and I might hop onto the sequel or even Silent Night, Deadly Night, man. If I come across it, um, I also feel that someone needs to re-release this. Hey, man, actually, look, I'm before I finish reading your comment. Brandon loves the movies. Like right now that we were just talking, right now that I just mentioned, Silent Night, Deadly Night, like these films, Sleepaway Camp came to my mind, man, because like it just crossed my, because I'm not sure, because honestly, guys, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I was like, isn't that really kind of, I know that one of the sequels were considered um like Christmas. I'm not really too familiar, man, but that's another one that crossed my mind. But see, I want the second one on Blu-ray, but sorry, I'm not paying over. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I agree with you, man. Sleepaway Camp, that's another one they definitely gotta hop on, man, because that's another one. Like, there's a few movies, man, a few classics, and that I've been trying to get on DVD. You guys know I'm a big DVD collector. I try to get as much classics, especially a lot of good classics that I personally love. Um, Silent Night, Deadly Night was one, like I said, and even Sleepaway Camp. I'm not sure if it's too pricey on the original on eBay and stuff like that, but I've seen it like on Blu-ray, man. Probably for like $30, $40, and paying a little bit over the top money for just like a Blu-ray. Like, yeah, it's not for every. Like, I wouldn't do that, honestly. But yeah, man, I do agree. I do agree. They do need to bring back the Sleepaway Camp series. But you guys should remind me, man, was Sleepaway Camp like a Christmas horror, or was it one of the sequels, or is it the series? Also, another movie I kind of wanted to mention. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, um, but I will say it's one of the better ones. Of course, it doesn't top classics like Black Christmas or Silent Night, Deadly Night. And it's more of a more modern movie. Krampus. I think not just as a Christmas horror movie, it kind of was a pretty decent horror movie, man. Especially a modern horror movie. We haven't had a lot of modern, good horror movies. Uh, most of the modern stuff is not really as great, but for sure, man, Krampus is I gotta say is a pretty good movie. I haven't seen it in a while, man. But I remember when I think I saw it around the time it came out. Uh, but yeah, for sure. Another good Christmas horror movie is All Through the House. All Through the House. You actually haven't heard that title. Um, but yeah, man, definitely good recommendation right there. I mean, pretty much we even though you could say Christmas is over, we're still gonna be kind of in that spirit and kind of in that vibe, pretty much for the rest of December, man. I think that's how it is for a lot of us. In the New Year's, people kind of still feel that kind of winter Christmas vibe. So yeah, man, I will take that into a recommendation. Check that out, because like I said, guys, I've never really seen. Like I said earlier, I haven't really seen a lot of horror Christmas movies. I've only seen a few, and yeah, I mean it's always pretty cool, getting to know other films and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. You know what? Someone needs to produce more Thanksgiving themed slashers. There's honestly only a few, such as Home Sweet Home from 1981. Yeah, man, that's actually true. There's not a lot like there's a lot of horror films, slasher films that, of course, they're based off certain holidays, April Fool's Day, Bloody Valentine. But Thanksgiving, man, yeah, that's one that's not really too common, but for sure. And Home Sweet Home, actually, that's a film I haven't seen, but yeah, I kind of have heard of it, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, that'll be pretty interesting, man, to kind of bring that a little bit more to the front, You know, so it could be because, like I said, there's various horror films that are inspired or not inspired, but they have it's like a takes place like with a holiday, you know, and that's that. Some of them are good, you know, and that's what I've always liked about a lot of these horror films, man. Especially like Christmas, because Christmas is like the holiday, like the most popular, the most, you know, pretty much everyone celebrates it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think more than a lot of other ones, you know. So I think since it kind of, you could say, hits a little bit more home, it's a little bit more, you could say, relatable, or not relatable, but it's a little bit more it's like it's a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more fun. So you know, that is pretty cool, man. I agree. Yeah, the remakes are not that good. The first one from 2005 is an okay modern day third wave slasher, but doesn't break new ground or anything is predictable. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I remember it was from like the mid 2000s, like 2005, 2006, where they came out with the first Black Christmas remake. I've heard, like I said, I haven't seen them, but I've heard that one wasn't as shitty as the last one we got. I believe the last one was 2000, excuse me, 2018 or 17, around there. I think it was like a well, I don't know if it was like a TV. No, no, that was Slumber Party Massacre. Like the remake of Slumber Party Massacre was like a sci-fi release, you know, like a year ago. Um, but yeah, I heard the last one. You know, the last remake of Black Christmas was the worst. But yeah, I heard the 2005 one wasn't as bad. So I'll probably will check that out. Of course, it's gonna be more since this was more of like in the early 70s, you know, or mid 70s. Of course, it's gonna be more of a modern adaptation of it. And I mean, I'll give it a chance. I mean, that one looks a little bit more to me convincing, like a little bit more you know, I wouldn't say promising, but a little bit more interesting than the last one, 2019. I forgot when it came out. But yeah, these remakes, man, never gonna stop. The Sleepaway Camp films, I mean, they're not really good, but I see I want because I want a cheaper version of the sequels from the late 80s for cheap. Yeah, man, and a lot of those, like the sequels and stuff like that, I seen like the prices have gone up. I guess because they're out of print, and they, like you said, you know, the sleepaway camps, they're like they're like the cheesy typical uh you know, camp horror movie. So it's not like a big series, of course. Even the first one, like there's a lot of classic films that we consider classics that weren't really like as great, you know, and that's for sure one of them. Like for sure it's considered a classic, Sleepaway Camp, a pretty memorable film if you ask me, but as a film, it wasn't as great. Um and you know, I don't think I've seen the sequels, but I'm pretty sure the sequels were probably less. They were a little bit more cheap, you know. And since uh, you could say the franchise or the little series didn't really go as big, they didn't. I don't think they really even bothered to do like re-releases. Um, but it'll be dope, man. I think it'll be dope, especially because there's still fans, man. Like, you know, there's still fans of a lot of these, you know, not so great films, man. And I think it's simply because not just for being a crappy movie, but I think for nostalgia reasons, for, you know, a lot of people, you could say, who grew up with those films, uh might not be the greatest films, but just watching them and just something about them, it kind of like brings you back. Like I have a few of those like pretty crappy films, like a guilty pleasure, pretty much, you know, like crappy films that we like deep inside personally kind of have, you know, we like it in some type of way. But yeah, I agree, man. I agree. On the real, people needs to re-release this stuff. A lot of distributors are just sitting on money, but they need to grab them rights, man. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think they really, like Scream Factory, they go out for like mission, you could say, is to kind of like release titles, like big famous titles. You know, have they've done it. You know, the Friday the 13th, Child's Play, a lot of stuff. But there's also quite a few, man, that that by now I think they should have them. Like for example, Nightmare on Elm Street, that would be a dope box set, man. And I think that's one for sure. When the Friday the 13th box set, that one wasn't really like as and other than the price, but it wasn't really like as like a need for me to get, simply because Friday's not one of my favorite franchises. But a Scream Factory Nightmare on Elm Street box set or whatever, that would be awesome, man. That would be awesome. So for sure, man, I agree. Scream Factory really has to, you know, at least try their best, you know, to really get a lot of these rights for classics, man, because I think it's long overdue, and I think the fans deserve it. You know, especially a lot of us support Scream Factory, man. They have a lot of dope releases. I have a lot of Scream Factory releases. I have Candyman, the original, and what I've always loved, man, about Scream Factories is they have like the reverse cover art, like of course they always give out their little cover art for the Blu-ray release. And what I've always loved, here are the discs. If you guys would like to see the discs, pretty cool art, man. That's also another thing. A lot of these new, you know, releases, they don't really have too much like artwork and stuff like that. It's mostly like plain and basic, and they really take their time, man. And that's what I love about Screen Factory. And the thing I loved about the most, like I said, is the reversible artwork, as you guys can see. And what I love about it is that they put the original movie poster from 1974, man. That's awesome. And yeah, I don't even know why I haven't, because I remember I reversed my Candyman one to the original movie poster, because I don't know, I just think the original movie posters, man, they're a little bit more dope, you know, to me. And yeah, but I have this like that for now. But yeah, man, I'm quite a fan of Scream Factory, actually. Early 2000 movies, Bruiser Martin is coming out in 4K. I know though. Yeah, man, I've also kind of actually noticed that a lot of you know, films are starting to, like old films starting to come out as recent, you know, they're getting like 4K releases, DVD releases. Like there was one, man, that another film I kind of had like I was interested in, and I kind of seen um you know, that they were gonna come out with a re-release, I think a 4K or a Blu-ray of that movie, Happy Birthday to Me, the original. That's a film I've been trying to get my hands on, man. And I don't even know if it ever came out. I remember because I know for a fact, what's that movie called? Night of the Living, no, not Night of the Living Dead. What's that film called? The other classic zombie film, Return of the Living Dead. They just came out with that on 4K not too long ago, and I think it was around that. I don't know if it was I think it was supposed to be the next week after that came out. They were supposed to drop a they were supposed to drop like a Happy Birthday to Me 4K, a re-release of that film, and I was waiting on it, man. And I even went to like the Best Buy, because I think it was also a Best Buy exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. But I never saw it, man. I never saw it. I even tried to look on YouTube, you know, see if some people actually did own it. Like some people actually got it, but I'm not sure where. But yeah, man, for sure, a lot of good gems, old gems from the 80s. You know, should definitely have more light shed on them. I agree, man. Sleepaway Camp was more in the style of Friday the 13th. It was a camp setting slasher. Yeah, yeah. You know, your typical cheesy camp, you know, slash movie. Some people kind of consider that like a bootleg or a knockoff of Friday the 13th, for sure. Yeah, they would be amusing. We need more slasher based certain days, holidays. It would be fun. Yeah, man, a lot of fun. One of my favorites is April Fool's Day, man. That's another one I need to get that on DVD or Blu-ray. But yeah, I do agree. And I want to, if you guys seen that new movie that just came out, the horror comedy film about Christmas or Santa Claus. It's been quite a big release, I think, because I've seen like billboards everywhere. Have you guys seen that movie? What's it called? Silent Night or honestly, when I first saw that, man, I thought it was like a remake to Silent Night, Deadly Night. Um, yeah, because the poster is like this Santa. I don't know if he's like a zombie or whatever the hell it is. Um, yeah, like I thought it was a remake to Silent Night, Deadly Night. I was like, what, really? But then I looked a little bit more closer at the poster. I'm like, no, that's not the title. But that would be funny, man. That would be I'll be disappointed, man. Is there a remake to? I know there's a part two of Silent Night, Deadly Night, but interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. Like I said, man. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's Saturday today, man. It feels like a Sunday. Um, but yeah, hope you guys having a great day, man. Like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you guys. Blood Rage is a Thanksgiving setting horror film from 1987. Blood Rage, for sure, man. That's another one. That's another one I haven't seen, but yeah, we'll take that into recommendation. Skull Crusher, what's up, man? I like the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. Yeah, man. I've seen the original, and I think it's right behind Black Christmas, if you ask me. We also need re-releases of stuff that's been out of print that I got on DVD but needs a higher def release, such as Prom Night sequels, first sequel from 1987, and Fun Supernatural Fest. Yeah, man. Especially when it comes to like the quality and stuff like that, the high definition. Um, with Screen Factory or other, another thing I think they knock, they do a great job on, because it's not just the great artwork, the great details. It's also the how the movie looks, especially on 4K, man, because I actually don't own a 4K player. I'm mostly a Blu-ray guy. I do own a few 4Ks, the 4Ks that come with the Blu-rays. But yeah, man, especially a lot of out of print stuff, a lot of great out of print stuff, man. That's one thing I also, when I go to like used DVD shops and stuff like that, I'm looking for like horror films. I really try to look at, like, because they have like a section of like out of print stuff. Some of it might be pricey, some of it might be like pretty cheap, pretty decent. And there's times, man, where I've come across a few different kind of out of prints. um but yeah, and especially out of print stuff that never like got re-releases from like the 80s. um and I like people are like really overcharging them now. For example, I don't even know. This was one that I was trying to get my hands on for a while. Fright Night 2. Um, I believe that one was out of print, man, because I remember I was kind of like looking for it, and it was kind of pricey. But I don't know if it was. I don't think it never got a re-release. I think it got a re-release like in the UK or something like that, but not like a US official re-release. But that would be pretty cool, man. Fright Night. That'd be pretty dope. The Blumhouse Black Christmas was, yeah, man. That I have not seen it from what I heard, and actually, I did not know it was Blumhouse until you brought it up right now. Horror fanatic. Not surprised, man. I'm not surprised, but yeah, I heard the latest remake was just awful, man, and I was actually putting together a video, um, like my top 10 worst horror movie remakes, and I was for sure gonna put that one in there because I already made my list. And some of them, there's like about two or three that are considered like the worst remakes ever that I haven't seen. And the Black Christmas remake is one of them, and that's one that I would try to watch it. I know if I watch it, I'll probably end up like shutting it down or not paying attention. Probably that's how shitty it is. But yeah, that's one for sure. I'ma eventually watch just for my video, just so I can have my reasons why I have it as my worst favorite. Sellers on eBay are crazy though, waiting over for the genre, but people are getting taken to. They pay that much, yeah, but yeah, man. I agree. I feel some sellers, man, just don't like over like, and the fact that it's just a DVD and it's used. I agree. The rarity or the the value, whatever you want to call it, of the title of the release, but some people I think just take it they take it over the top, man. And I just think like, come on. And eventually a lot of people, that's one thing too, man. I mean, some people could afford, to some people, 200 to 300 bucks on a rare film might be nothing, but come on, to the average, that's not really as affordable. And that's just, I just think that's dumb, man. I think just it's just dumb paying a shitload of money just for like a DVD. And some people, I think, sellers need to, I think, understand that, and eventually, like I said, a lot of people don't have like a problem spending big money on like on out of print stuff, but eventually, man, a lot of stuff is gonna get re-released, at least the most popular stuff, so I just feel that we should all just wait, man, in the future, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff will be re-released eventually, man. And like I said, especially stuff that throughout the years people have grown, have grown, like it's grown a fan base. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. A Nightmare on Elm Street box set, Scream Factory. I think, like I said, I think that's one that I will for sure buy, man, because that's my favorite franchise behind the Halloween. Um, yeah, that would be awesome. That really would be awesome. I haven't seen Halloween Ends yet, but I just rented it, so I'm about to watch it, guys. Is it any good? Oh, so it's your first time watching Halloween Ends, Johnny? Man, I mean, I really don't want to like. I just say try to have like an open mind to to watching. I know you probably heard a lot of things circulating about the movie, but I would recommend, man, just try to go in there with like an open mind, and I don't know, just take it for what it is. Um, but yeah, that's interesting, man. It's if your first time watching it. Um, that's interesting, man. Honestly, Johnny, I wish that I could say that I dug it, but man, oh man, it really wasn't up my alley. Yeah, man. A lot of people, disappointing film, man. And I do own the Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that. Um, it's pretty cool. I believe it's coming out this Tuesday officially. Um, it was pretty cool to own it a week early, but yeah, man, definitely Halloween Ends. Like I said, personally, me, um, I kind of enjoyed it, like as a like it's watchable to me, but the whole idea of it, I think it went downhill, and I think it just disappointed a lot of us. But I think as a film, it's watchable, you could say, since this film is so different than your ordinary Halloween movie. It's like it's watchable, because like it was interesting seeing the whole. How long was the movie? Like 2 hours. um like it's interesting throughout the watch since it's so different, man. It just, I think it kind of has you in, or it had me in. um but yeah. um Violet Night, or was it Christmas, Bloody Christmas, that went to Shutter? Yeah, Shutter actually. Shutter, I think, has a lot of Christmas horror films on their streaming. A lot of great titles, man. Actually, I used to you know go around Shutter, kind of watch stuff here and there. Not so much though, but yeah, I think it just went to streaming. Yeah, I'd be at Rasputin bookstores getting old movies and games. Yeah, man. Sometimes like you never know. Like I've had times, man, where like you're like at old DVD shop, you know, you're just digging through it. You could find something pretty good, man. Like I said, there's been a few times where you could kind of find something that you don't really expect to be there, and there's like I said, there's a few times I've come across like there's one of the main things that kind of surprised me at like a DVD store, or I found a lot of horror movie soundtracks, and I picked up a few. I had a few horror movie soundtracks like on CDs, and that was pretty interesting, man. But yeah, you just never know. So I would recommend that to you guys if you guys are ever like, even like thrift shopping. If you guys like go thrift shopping or like any used DVD shops, I recommend, man. You should definitely dig through there and see what kind of different titles they got, because you never know. You never know what kind of um stuff you will find in there. Yeah, just saw it with no expectations. I'm not excited to see David Gordon. Yeah, man. Skull Crusher, I agree with you, bro. Um, I'm pretty sure all of us, I don't think we want to go there, man. Honestly, but like I said, it's like you said exactly. Especially coming from the Blumhouse Halloween trilogy, and even before then, man. I don't think even before we got the Halloween trilogy, I don't think it would have ever worked, man. The Exorcist trilogy, and that's simply because I don't think it could, that original film, that original concept could be duplicated, man. And I think as of now, they're just gonna be using the title, the Exorcist title, just for a quick money grab. You know, just imagine 3 movies of this stuff, man. Like I can't wait to see what kind of shit they do. I'm gonna miss my boy Mike. He's the ghost slasher for sure, man. He's the GOAT. He's the one. I just got Pearl on DVD, Blu-ray, and other films for Christmas today. Oh, that's pretty dope, man. Pearl. I heard it was a pretty good film. I actually might do a video. I might check out a few other films that I haven't seen that came out this year. Maybe I'll give you guys like a top 5 or a top 10. Maybe a top 5 of my favorite films that came out this year. Yeah, because there was a lot of good films, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think this year really did it for horror, even though there wasn't a lot of great films. But at the same time, man, there was a lot of good films. X, um, Pearl. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was good. Um, the Scream 5, I thought was pretty good. A lot of good titles, man. So definitely, I might try to. And oh, I'm gonna be showing you guys what I got as presents. You know, horror related. Yeah, when I finally make videos, I'll show off my horror genre CD collection. Oh, that's Brandon loves the movies. That's pretty dope, man. I actually did make a video of like my CD collection, my soundtrack collection. Um, not too like around the October season, and me myself, I kind of tried looking at on YouTube like some videos of you know, people showing their collection. Didn't really find as much. But I'll be interested, man. If you were to make like a of your soundtrack collection, that'll be pretty interesting, man. And I will check that out because I am interested in that kind of stuff. You know, um, Brandon loves the movies. That'll be pretty cool, man. So if you ever do that video, man, make sure you let me know. I'll be looking forward to that because I kind of am kind of like a CD collector in some type of way, especially after, excuse me, especially coming, especially after coming across some horror soundtracks. So for sure, I got the usual artists: John Carpenter, John Beale, Alan Howarth, Hammer Horror soundtrack CDs. That's dope, man. Yeah, that's a lot of classic, you know, composers, classic horror movie music. So that'll be interesting, man. Any other slasher fanatic here also collect Italian Geo movies on Gears on John back to them. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Just like Candyman. Candyman. Candyman, I think that was last year. I think that was last year. The Black Phone was good. Yeah, man. I heard the Black Phone was another good one this year. I haven't seen it, man. I haven't seen a lot of these movies. I've seen X. I've seen a few other ones, but I heard the Black Phone was good, man. I want to check that out. Uh, it's always grabbed my attention, man. Like I'm literally like when I go to like Walmart or Best Buy or anywhere, and like I'm like walking through the aisle just looking see what they got, man. I always want to get that freaking Black Phone, but I'm kind of trying to wait for a little bit because I know it just came out. I'm trying to wait a little bit more longer so I could kind of get it like a cheaper price. Cause I'm cheap, honestly, guys. Like I go to used DVD shops. Um, but yeah. So if I ever come across like the Blu-ray cheap, I'm gonna get it for sure. Cause that's one movie that I want to check out. Finally got a zombie Ghostface mask for Christmas. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I know those zombie Ghostface masks. I've always been a fan of them, man. I don't know what it is. I think it's just so different. It kind of always reminded me of the Rob Zombie, Michael Myers style, just in Ghostface. So for sure, man, that's awesome. And I believe I'm not sure. I think they started going rare at one point. I don't know if they're still because obviously they still re-release. They reproduce a lot of the classic Scream masks. Um, and I can't wait what Fun World's gonna do, man, for Scream 6. I can't wait to see if they release a line of Ghostface mask. I don't think they released nothing for Scream 5. Like the line of masks. I believe they just released their ordinary Ghostface masks. And I think they released the 25th anniversary mask or something like that. Um, but yeah, man, I don't really remember them like coming out with like a line of Ghostface masks from the Scream 2021 or 22. But yeah, that'll be interesting though, especially since Scream 6, we're gonna have that new mask. It'll be pretty dope, man, to get that. Um, I don't even remember anybody dying on there. You like horror books, like novels? I'm not the biggest reader. I have tried to read horror novels. But that's one thing I for sure I've always wanted to kind of gamble into because there's a lot of good adaptations, man. A lot of good films, classic films that of course have their novel that they were based on, and a lot of these novels, man, supposedly from what I've heard, because I also seen a few videos, where people kind of compare like the novel to the movie. Um, Turns out to be, man, a lot of these novels, they turn out to be a lot more detailed, a lot more better, a lot more. It goes more deeper, like in the storyline and stuff like that, more deeper than the actual movie. So that's why that's one of the main reasons I've always wanted to gamble into novels. The Exorcist. It was one that I kind of started, but I kind of never finished it. But of course, man. We all seen it, the original 19. What was it, 1990? Or I'm not sure when the novel came out, but that's a classic movie, man. We've all seen it, and even from the novel, the story goes deeper. Stephen King's Pet Cemetery, that one, from what I heard, in the original novel, the story, the whole thing is more darker than the film that we got. And of course, at that time, they kind of had to censor a lot of stuff. Of course, in films back in the day, they couldn't really go too deep or go too dark on film, so they switched a lot of things up. Another one that comes to mind, that had major changes for the film was Cujo. Uh, Cujo, man, that's a classic movie. Love that film. But from what I heard, from my knowledge in the novel, it definitely takes a whole nother turn, a whole nother wrong turn, a deeper turn than in the movie. So yeah, that's always grabbed my attention, man, and that's always why I want to get my hands into more novelizations and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's a good question, man. Who was that? Porn star Jr. That's a good question, man. I know a lot of people are really into that. Um, and hopefully one day, man, I really get my mind on it, and focus on it, and really just make that my main priority or my main task, you know. But oh, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, there's also a lot of different kinds of horror, horror novels, horror books. Like for example, another like I remember, I think I was in middle school, or I was in school pretty much, but in the library, man, we would be going to the library. I've always like kind of went to the horror section, and I've always been interested in like I've came across books like horror, like how kind of, you could say, kind of how are what are those called, like legends, myth legends and stuff like that. On I've read like books on how, about the horror genre, like in the industry wise, like in the as a movie genre, like behind the scenes stuff, that kind of stuff. And of course we got, the novelizations, the stories by, authors like Stephen King and stuff like that. But also another kind of, you could say, trench in the horror genre that I've always kind of been interested is like the history of like the whole, excuse me, like old, like in the centuries, like old history about kind of like horror, Halloween. That's also another one of the main things I kind of kept an eye for, or kind of been interested in. So right now that kind of reminded me of that. There's a lot of different kinds of horror, or different types of genres in horror, and it's a lot of interesting stuff, man, for sure. I will say, reading, a lot of people kind of, I've heard this all the time, man. It's always better to read than to like watch a movie, because as reading, you kind of get, it kind of hits you more, you kind of gain more from it, you could say. And reading is knowledge, man. When you read, it gains you knowledge. So it's definitely a better experience, you could say, to read most of this stuff than to actually, like, I know all of us, we all are used to watching a film. But yeah, man, that's interesting stuff, man. That's also another things, one of the main things that I've been trying to get into. Amazon has a lot of good cheap books about genre cinema. Yeah, special makeup effects. I got Kane Hodder. Yeah, uh, genre cinemas. Yeah, those are like the types of books like I would read in school from the library. Like it would be like books about like history, about like how horror films were made, about the genre, about the effects and all that. And it's always grabbed my attention, man. I think I remember the name of the book. I think it was The Boogeyman something. The cover was like Freddy Krueger. Um, but yeah, that was interesting. I like to get a Jason X. Yeah, man. The yeah, I actually don't own a Jason X mask. But yeah, the Jason Goes to Hell mask is one of my favorite looks and concepts of Jason. I heard Fun World is doing a replica of the new Ghostface mask from the new. Yeah, man, I really hope so, man. I really hope so. Um, because I will definitely be getting that for the collection. Most of us are going to be getting that. And I definitely and I understand, they didn't really do like for Scream 5 they didn't release like a line of masks because it was just the ordinary classic mask. But I think it was just like a done it was just given already that they were going to make masks for Scream 6 since it's a big change in the mask for sure. But yeah, dude, I can't wait to see what Fun World has coming out. Hello, I love Halloween Ends. I got it on DVD and Blu-ray. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I've also seen a lot of people say they got it as a present for Christmas. Halloween Ends. That's dope, man, for sure. So now we could finally watch Halloween Ends at our home. We own the complete trilogy of Halloween. Just use audiobooks. I've actually tried it, man. I've actually tried it. I've tried audiobook like on when I kind of started the It book because I believe one of my cousins, he was actually on here right now, not too long ago. I'm not sure if he's still on here. Machete Slasher. I remember he had a copy of the It book, and I think I kind of messed around with it, and then I think after that I kind of tried doing like the audiobook thing, and even with The Exorcist I tried to do the audiobook thing. But yeah, man, I heard audiobooks is like the same thing. Like you still gain that same knowledge from like same way if you were reading the damn book. So yeah, that's a recommendation for sure. Audiobooks, especially to people like me. A lot of people don't really not as big when reading books and stuff like that. So for sure. Yeah, novels are better like Pennywise. Yep, for sure, man. Joseph the horror guy, what's up, man? Glad you made it to the live chat. Hope you're having a good happy holidays, man. I'm Halloween fan. I love the and also Daniel is my favorite actress and Scream Queen. Halloween 4 and 5 films as Jamie Lloyd. Yeah, man, Daniel Harris is amazing. Love Daniel Harris for sure. I think one of the main Scream Queens for damn sure, if you ask me. I got a few audiobooks, Kane Hodder's book, plus an audiobook on voiceover legend Neil Ross. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. That'll be pretty cool. I might look into that. Kane Hodder's book. Was it like his book, like his life story, or was it like how he came up in the acting business? Not too sure, but that seems interesting, man. Especially on iconic guys like Kane Hodder. The Halloween Ends novelization is way better than what we got in the film, and the ending of the book is way better without spoiling it. It's a way bigger ending. Yeah, I've actually seen that like on Instagram. Some people like actually have the novelization of Halloween Ends, and they're saying it's like better. It's definitely more to it than what we got in the film. Oh shit. I was about to fall behind in the damn chair. But yeah, man, that's interesting. Yeah, like I said, man, a lot of these novelizations, man, it's more expanded. It's not really limited, you could say, or a book could be limited, but there's always more. There's always more to a book, a novelization, and that's what I've heard with Halloween Ends as well. That the actual novelization, it has more to it. It has more to it than what we got. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I come across the audiobook or something for Halloween Ends. It'll be pretty interesting, man. Daniel Harris has a night. Oh yeah, that'll be dope. Brandon, yeah, that'll be pretty dope. A novelization of Daniel Harris. That'll be dope. Yeah, and I've seen a few clips of her podcast with Scout Taylor Compton. I've seen it like on her Instagram. Pretty cool, man. I mean, hey, they you could they're with it, man. They're with it. Like they're like you could say going against the grain, or they're just being themselves, man. And that's what I love seeing, honestly. They're just being themselves. That's what I love seeing, man. Honestly, like it's a dope little podcast, man, that they put together. All right, thanks, bro. I'll definitely let you know what I think of the movie next time you're live. I'm nervous but excited. Yeah, man, for sure. I would love to know, Johnny, for the next round, the next time. What were your thoughts on Halloween Ends, man? And all I can say, man. Hope you had a have a good time with it, and I hope you get some type of enjoyment out of it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, man. Have a good time with that. I still listen to her podcast. Yeah, it's a cool podcast. I haven't listened to it like that. Only like a few clips on Instagram or YouTube. But yeah, and those little clips, man, yeah, they're dope. I love them. Yeah, man. Yeah, it pissed a lot of us off, man. Especially, man, Michael Myers. That's the most disrespectful move they could have done to my boy Michael, man. Yeah, and I really hope, if I ever, come across or the novelization, I really hope it makes up for a lot of this bullshit with the movie. Yeah, because I don't know, man. I just think they didn't just do Myers dirty, man. I feel they made the fans dirty, man. They did us dirty with this crappy film. Like I said earlier, I enjoy Halloween Ends. It's a pretty watchable film to me. But at the end of the day, man, that whole direction they went, no, it's a big no no, man. Especially when it comes to Michael Myers. Michael Myers, the face of slashers. That's just my opinion, man. Love Daniel Harris. Yeah, same here, man. Yup, amusing and underrated. Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, man. They're dope. I've always loved them. I've always even Scout Taylor Compton, man. She throughout the years, a lot of people like had hate towards her. I wouldn't say hate, but people were always like they've always. I don't know what it was, man, but just for the fact that she was in a remake of and she played a character that was like Scream Queen status, iconic status. Everyone who does that is gonna catch that, you know, that what's it called, the negativity. But I mean, man, at the end of the day, man, I haven't seen a lot of her stuff other than the Halloween stuff, but she's still dope, man. Nothing against her. Many more, many more on the real need to check out. Daniel's podcast. Yeah, man, I agree. I think a lot of people, it's pretty underrated. Yeah, so I think a lot of people really need to, because of course it's not just about horror, man. It's not just about them, their experience with the Halloween movies or with the horror franchise. Like it's about them, their life. They get personal, and that's what I love about it, man. You just gotta be yourself. At the end of the day, you gotta be yourself, no matter what, and people will accept you more if you're yourself, man, than try to be someone you're not. Um, and that's what it is. So yeah, I do agree. A lot of people need to go over there, man. If you have guys have not checked out Daniel Harris's and uh Scout Taylor Compton's podcast, go check it out, man. She did great as a child actress. Yeah, man. We all grew up loving Jamie, man. She's another, like I said, one of the main iconic characters from that franchise. So for sure, man. And I always see people kind of try to discredit her, Daniel Harris. They always compare her to Jamie Lee Curtis. I just think that's nonsense, man. I think they're both scream queens, no matter what. Daniel Harris, to me, she's always been a scream queen in my eyes. Daniel Harris is cool from genre film conventions. All that have met her say that she is funny, laid back, and is approachable. Yeah, man, I like to see a lot of those videos too. Like people at conventions, they meet all certain different people from different horror films. Um, it's pretty cool, man. And I have seen a few of Daniel Harris, and that's pretty cool of her. She's laid back, she's approachable, and a lot of these people, man, don't really be like that. Some people just think they're just too, they're too good for anybody. And yeah. So that I've always respected Daniel Harris, man. She seems dope. She seems like a great person. I would love to meet her one day. I'm still gonna meet Daniel, man. When I meet Daniel, I'm still gonna be nervous. Yeah, for sure, man. I think I'll probably will too. Not gonna lie, man. For sure. Also, if you collect autographs on eBay, hers. If you collect autographs on eBay, hers are reasonable price, not too outrageous. Yeah, man. Exactly. A lot of people, man. Especially famous people, or I wouldn't say famous people, maybe to them in their little world, they're probably like over the top famous, so they kind of, you know, overcharge their freaking autographs and all this, not as approachable because I don't know what they think in their little world. But yeah, man, that's awesome. If her autographs are reasonable and affordable, then yeah, my respect, man, because a lot of people, yeah, it's because some people they take it to a point, man, where it's ridiculous, you know. I just got Michael Myers Funko Pop on Christmas Day. Today I saw Daniel sign it. Oh, that's awesome, man. A signed Daniel Harris Michael Funko Pop. That's awesome. That's definitely a must have. I just got 3 autographs for Christmas. Tom Savini, Emma Roberts, and David Howard Thornton. Oh, that's awesome, bro. That's a great Christmas gift. Um, Autographs from, yeah, some great people. That's dope. Awesome stuff. I love the 78 Dawn of the Dead. As I'm a Romero fanatic, so nice. Yeah, for sure, man. Dawn of the Dead, the original. Love that film. It's my favorite zombie movie of all time. Uh, yeah, it is. I think it is. Yep, for sure. So yeah, it is pretty dope that mostly I collect autographs from Romero's movies and early Halloween films and first five. Yeah, man, that's dope. That's mandatory for sure, man. Especially those earlier films. That's pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of different collectors, autograph collectors. A lot of autographs in the market. That's pretty awesome, bro. I collect mostly Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, I've always wanted the House of a Thousand Corpses. Older releases. I believe they were NECA, right? The out of print ones. Yeah, man, those figures go whew, they go for quite amount of money on eBay, man. Um, those original releases. I've always wanted to get myself a Captain Spaulding. My brother, he bought a Captain Spaulding figure, but it was it was like I think it was released last year. Like it was one of the newer releases, the Trick or Treat Studios, and it's like a small figure, nothing compared to NECA's 6-inch figures, man. Yeah, a lot of NECA's great figures. I think NECA was dude in the 2000s, man, when they had their cult classic line of figures. Um, I think that was the best time for NECA, man. A lot of those figures bring nostalgia for me. They bring a lot of, yeah, man. And I never at that time. Of course, I was a little kid, man, so I didn't really have as much. But I mean, it was dope to see NECA come out with their ultimate line. Better and improved versions of some of their older figures. And there's still a lot, man, that I hope they get the rights to. Captain Spaulding, House of a Thousand Corpses, Otis, Baby Firefly. That would be dope as like an ultimate version, you know. But that's awesome, man. That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. That would be awesome, man. Owning the having Daniel Harris sign Halloween 4 and 5 for you. That's awesome, man. Joseph, the horror guy, going to get a Halloween 5 poster. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, that's another dope one. Yeah, of course with posters. Posters are always popular and famous, you know, with autographs and stuff like that. But yeah, that's awesome. Kane's book is a lot like his documentary Blu-ray. It covers. Yo, yeah, that'll be pretty cool, man. Yeah, especially when it's like about kind of like their life story, how they got to where they are now. I'm always in for it, man. I'm always in for it, you know, documentary style. I like all that. So yeah, man, for sure. I will eventually try to find some time once I get the chance. I will check that out. Like I said, man, especially when it comes to iconic guys like Kane Hodder, I think it's mandatory. Hear what I want, another Halloween movie, have one more. A movie, have one more. The return of Jamie Lloyd and have. Yeah, man, that's what I've been saying. I made a live discussion not too long ago. What I personally would want to see after Halloween ends is a direct sequel to Halloween 4, you know, or Halloween 5. But to me, I would love to see direct sequel to Halloween 4, you know, and kind of see where Daniel is as, or not Daniel, where Jamie is as an adult, as a grown up. That's what I personally would love to see, and I hope it does happen, man. I really does hope. I really hope it does happen. You know. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. He's a great one on Stranger Things. Yeah, man. That movie is. Yeah, I believe that's the new one that just came out, right? About the horror Christmas. Yeah. I've heard some people say it's not too bad. You know, it did its job from what I heard. Yeah, I might check it out. Yeah, porn star. I agree, man. That's not the way, especially for an ending film, man. If Ends was a sequel, okay, I'll accept it. But man, for an end movie, man, it went downhill, man, and it sucked as an ending movie. I agree. It would be more acceptable. People would have received it better if it was a sequel rather than the finale. You know, it's nonsense, man. That's one thing, man. I don't know why the hell they since the beginning, like right after 2018 came out, right away the trilogy. And from what I heard, man, when they were working on 2018, they kind of wanted to shoot Halloween Kills back to back, you know. And when I heard that, I thought, man, they probably have, you know, a good storyline for a trilogy, you know. But at the end, man, it looks like they didn't. All this time they did not have nothing. It just looks like they literally just threw everything in there last minute. And that's what I disagree with, man. I disagree with all that because it's unnecessary. It really is unnecessary. And like I said, it had a lot of us disappointed. Especially me, man. Especially me. I enjoyed the film for what it was, but I was disappointed too. Scout Taylor Compton. Way too much heat. I enjoy being a horror fan. Way too hard on others. Yeah, man, I agree, and I've seen a lot of that negativity always going around. I've never gamble. I mean, I'm really on the social media shit, man. Like, I'm only here like for YouTube and on the live stream and a little bit on Instagram. But even the little bit that I'm on this, there's a lot of nonsense going on, a lot of negativity. I've seen it from all types of people, man. Um, but yeah, I do agree, man. And I've always seen that since, ever since she played Laurie in the remake. A lot of people do give her a lot of heat. And at the same time, man, a lot of us in the horror community, uh, there's a lot of like toxic negativity going around, and we're just a little bit too hard on another's. So I do agree with you, man. Brandon loves the movies, and I just think some people just need to chill out, man. But yeah, I've always loved her, man. Like I said, even though I don't think she was she might have not been the right choice for Laurie in the remake, but I respect her, man. That just because of that, that's not gonna not make me like a person, man. Just because of one movie, just because of one movie you did not like doesn't mean you can go ahead and shit on the person. Like, I just think that's wrong. Yeah, I watched a lot of genre film Q&As on YouTube. They seem fun. Yeah, man, for sure. My favorite horror TV show is Stranger Things. That's cool, man. Joseph the horror guy. Yeah, Stranger Things pretty popular series, man. It took off for sure. Um yeah, man, those figures need a re-release. I love them, and many more deserve to pick them up. Yeah, man, for sure. I agree. Especially the House of a Thousand Corpses figures, man. Those figures, I love those films too, man. Yeah, I love those films, and I think, of course, that's one of Rob Zombie's best work, if you ask me. But yeah, Nekonita needs to re-release a lot of this stuff, a lot of classic stuff. Because even with figures, man, and I agree, you could say figures are a little bit more valuable. So of course, those you could kind of say have a reason to have a big price online. So it is, it's not as affordable to a lot of us, especially those classic older stuff, man. I remember being a kid, man. I've always wanted a lot of those classic, like the cult classic Michael Myers, the original by NECA. um I've always wanted those, man, but I've always those prices are always on top, man. And it sucks, man. It for sure sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, and I personally, I don't think they're like, don't get me wrong, their new Ultimate, they kind of did improve. They did improve for sure. They gave more accessories in there. You get a dope ass package. I respect it. It really is it's a great thing on behalf of NECA. But something about those old figures, man, it just brings me back, man, to the 2000s. Yeah, man, Skull Crusher. I agree. I thought Laurie was gonna die, man. That's how I went into watching the movie. I thought there's no way you could kill Myers, and if you did, that would be a stupid idea because the shape never dies, man. Evil never dies. So that's what I was hoping for, and that's what I was kind of going into the movie with. Michael kills Laurie, and leave it as is, man. Leave it as Michael. He's alive, and there you go. Maybe a next installment soon. Who knows? But yeah, just it was a horrible death. It was a horrible way to end it. Oh, man, yeah, dude. I agree. They just threw dirt on him, man. They discredited Myers. They disrespected him. Major mistake, man. And I don't know. simply for that reason. Since this film wasn't taken as serious, it flopped in the box office. I don't know if that's gonna affect the next Halloween movie or the next Myers movie, because there people are gonna be like, man, the history of these movies, these previous movies were shit, man. So I think some people might not even want to touch it no more. So I'm not sure how bad does the flop of Halloween Ends affect the upcoming Halloween movie. I'm not really. I'm pretty sure it's gonna affect it in some way, man. It probably affected them so bad that the next installment will be a season of the Witch franchise, man. They need to they need to keep Myers. They need to have him, take a seat back for the next installment. That's how bad I feel they. Ah, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell. I am also gonna make fan film. That's dope, man. Those are always fun. Joseph, the horror guy. That's always fun. Yeah, I've done that. It's pretty fun, man. It's always fun to create your own little film, your own little storyline. That'll be pretty dope, man. You should definitely, if you ever come across to making that, you should definitely shoot it my way, man, and I will give it a watch, because I always, that's how I started off. A lot of you guys know I started off YouTube to make fan films and stuff like that. Throughout time, I lost interest, and here and there, I kind of tune in, check in, a few different fan films people got going on. I've seen a lot of good content, man. As of lately, I saw this one. God, I can't remember the title, but it's a fan film that just came out about Scream, and it has the devil Ghostface mask from the Dead by Daylight. That's a little fan film. I kind of saw like a bit of it. I thought it was pretty good stuff, man. So I will be finishing that off, but yeah, man, you should definitely shoot that my way. I will check it out. I'll give it a watch. Why not? I heard rumors that they also may pick up after Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Yeah, man, I've actually heard about that too. I don't know if it's a sequel to Season of the Witch, a direct sequel, or a remake. I wouldn't mind it, honestly, guys. You guys could go. I did a video on that, or a live stream where I kind of talked about it, you know, and it, it's not the baddest idea, honestly, guys, because that's, I think, Season of the Witch, the original, it is one of those that you could say needs an improvement or an updated adaptation. But yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't mind it, like a new Season of the Witch, But if they were to do it, though, I don't think they should put it under the Halloween series. I think it should just be Season of the Witch. Uh, Porn star JR, yeah, 2000. Excuse me, 2018. I could see how it kind of is forgettable. Um, yeah, because I remember when I first saw it, it like it kind of took me a few watches, man, for to really get my thoughts together for 2018. But it's decent, man. I think it's solid. I think since, oh, guys, and I don't know if you got, I want to apologize. I have I released this post on my YouTube. I was supposed to do a live stream where I was gonna be reviewing the Blumhouse trilogy, and I never did it, man. And that's simply because I just got busy. I even scheduled the damn live stream for a certain time. I didn't come across doing it, man. Of course, the holidays, I got kind of busy, but I will be eventually doing that, where we will be reviewing and going in deep detail discussing the Blumhouse trilogy. But pretty much what I wanted to say, the 2018 film was solid, and it's I feel since it was quite a while since we got a Halloween movie, the 2018 movie hit us a little bit more fresh, and since it was a brand new look, we were all we were like all interested in it. And once the other films came, once the kills and ends, since we already had a taste of this Blumhouse Halloween world from the 2018, the sequels didn't really live up or weren't as great as the 2018. 2018, like I said, I think it was decent, it was solid, it wasn't great. I do have a few issues with it, but I think it's the better film from the trilogy. Yeah, man, it went downhill for sure. I agree. I need to rewatch the Halloween tonight, but Halloween's already tonight. But love the movie, but good Christmas gift. But I got yeah, man, yeah, and like I said too, I was going to be rewatching the Blumhouse trilogy, um, to get ready for my little video that I was gonna do for the Blumhouse review for the Halloween trilogy review. So yeah, eventually I will also be rewatching it. Wednesday is pretty. Yeah, man. Yeah. That new shot, is it a movie or a show? I'm not sure, but yeah, I've seen that everywhere actually. So yeah, it's getting big. Jenna Ortega. I seen. I'm not too sure what it was, man, but I think even she was. Jenna Ortega. She was catching some heat, like on this internet crap about that about her new show that came out Wednesday. Um, is that horror related, guys? I'm not sure, guys. You guys should definitely let me know on that. I know it has to do with, like, I don't know if it's a remake of. I think it's a remake, but I know it's like a like this storyline has already, they've already done films of it. I don't know, guys. You guys could fill me in, but yeah, and Jenna Ortega, I think she kind of got more eyes on her. She kind of, you could say, became more popular since that show came out Wednesday, because I've been seeing her everywhere, man. So yeah, and of course, throughout all of it, it comes, the negativity and all that. I never seen Wednesday before. Yeah, actually, I didn't see it neither. I am getting hyped for Megan horror movie. Also getting ready. Watch. And oh yeah, man, Megan. I know one of you guys wanted me to give you guys like my review on it once it comes out. I believe it comes out in January. I will be watching it, man, because at first I was like, "What the hell? What is this crap?" I know it's whatever, but that film has was like announced like 2 years ago, man, and I thought that movie had already came out. I thought it was one of those that just came and went. And I believe it's barely coming out now, man. And you could say it's another one of those big films because I've seen ads on it, commercials everywhere. I've seen billboards already. So yeah, and it is Blumhouse. It is that Megan movie is Blumhouse. It's like pretty much the knockoff, the bootleg to Child's Play 2019. Was it Red Hand by Kill? I believe it was. I believe the guy, he makes like discussion videos, like live streams. He does like horror movie news. Yeah, I believe it was him. Killjoy. Yeah, Jake. I believe it was that guy. Yeah, he did come out with like a fan film on Scream, and I did see him. I kind of started it, man, but I didn't finish it. But I was getting, I was, when it started to get good, and I started getting interested. So I might end up finishing that, man, because it looked pretty decent. I've got to go, but hey, this was super fun. I forgot that I was up to the channel, but hey, it was really dope. I'll be back. Thank you, Brandon loves the movies. I'm glad you made it to the chat today, and it was great chopping it up, discussing, man. Hope you have a great rest of your day or a great rest of your night, and happy holidays, man. Hope you have a good one. Hey, man, it was great talking to you. Already subscribed to you. For sure, man. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Joseph, the horror guy. Glad you made it to the chat, man. It was great. It was it was great talking with you guys on here. You know, it's always great, man. Especially like right now, I thought like a lot of you guys weren't gonna, because there's times I go live, not too much people join, and I thought right now was gonna be one of those times because you know it's Christmas and stuff like that. Um, so I didn't think a lot of people were gonna join in, man. But it looks like we're doing pretty good, man. I'm having fun, having a great discussion with you guys. Always great having a live discussion, you know, different stuff. But I appreciate you guys who tuned in, you know. She only 20. She's only 20. Have you seen the Chucky TV? I actually never finished watching season 2. I saw the first 2 episodes only, man. And after that, I didn't watch it no more, and that's simply because I lost interest. Um, I'm not sure if it got good, man. I didn't hear no big news or big major stuff that happened that you know I heard later on. Um, but yeah, I mean, I heard season 2 wasn't as great, but I seen the first season, all of it, you know, but it's not the worst, but I just feel it's not really my cup of tea. I saw Avatar 2, The Way of Water in 3D. Yeah, man, there's a new Avatar movie. I seen that too. I seen billboards on that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think I've seen the last one. How do you feel about the new Saw film coming out? Hey, man, I know the Saw franchise has gone downhill, but I'll check it out. I'm for sure interested, man, because I've seen some set photos. I think Tobin Bell's returning, and I wonder, man, how the hell, where are they gonna pick it up from? And I'm not sure because like I said, I saw some set photos, but I didn't really read too much about it. But one of the set photos, man, it kind of looked like they were filming like in the same room from the first movie. I could be wrong, man. I probably saw that wrong, but it really reminded me of that first film. Um, so if that's the case, I would love for them to kind of explore back to the first film. And I know they did that with the final chapter, I think it was. But I would love to see a little bit more, you know, deep connection to that first movie. Kind of just to pay homage. You know, I really hope it's not like another like pointless sequel. Uh yeah, and also, oh, I heard I believe the director of Saw 6, I believe the director of Saw 6 did Saw 4, 5, and 6. I could be wrong though. But I heard one of the directors from the sequels is coming back to do Saw 10. And hey, man, I'm interested. Like I said, not the biggest Saw fan. I mean, I love the movies, don't get me wrong. Uh, just to watch, you know, just to watch some gore or whatever. Um, but you know, I'm gonna for sure check it out. I'm gonna for sure check it out. The last Saw movie, which was the Spiral spin-off or remake, whatever that was, that one wasn't too bad. I thought that one was pretty decent. So yeah, I can't wait to see where they pick up, man, from the Saw series. Was kind of, yeah, man. That's one of the main reasons I didn't continue watching it, because just based on those two episodes, man, yeah, it just wasn't that great. So I didn't even bother watching it. But yeah, I mean, if you tell me it wasn't as if you tell me if it was disappointed, I mean, not really surprising, man. Mary Christoween, that's right, porn star. That's that's pretty much what that's pretty much what this live stream is, man. You know, Christoween live discussion. You know, hell yeah, that's what I like. That season one was better, two wasn't awful, but not as good. Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. And I kind of had a feeling, the first one is always better than whatever they come out with later on, But it is what it is, man. I mean, maybe one day I kind of will finish watching it. Chucky season two, heavy goes on with See You to Chucky, which is why it's kind of mixed. Yeah, and that's one thing, man, I was looking forward to in season two. Of course, they were gonna bring Glenda back. They were kind of gonna explain all that stuff, which I was looking forward to, man. But I don't know, it just didn't really grab my attention. And yeah, I could see that. I could see why people are mixed on it. They didn't like it as much simply because it has, that connection to a pretty awful movie. So I mean, it is what it is, man. But you could say it's a good idea because I know a lot of Chucky fans, a lot of fans were wondering like, what the hell happened to Glenn, to the kid. And this kind of answered questions or whatever. But I don't know. I think they should have just left it alone. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, um, maybe once I get the chance, I will go back and finish it. That black dude surviving Saw with the security guard. Yeah, man, you're talking about the last one, right? Spiral with Chris Rock. Yeah, man, I thought it was pretty decent, man. I don't think it was too bad. It kind of felt kind of like a fresh new start, a fresh new take on Saw. You know, hopefully the new Friday the 13th series that's going to be good. Yeah, man. I hope it's pretty good too, man. I hope it's a pretty good reintroduction to the Friday series because I think we needed that, man. I think we needed that. It's been a while since 2009. We got the last Friday movie, and now that they settled the whole rights thing, the whole lawsuit that was going on with the Friday franchise, I really hope we got some good stuff coming our way, man, for sure. And I think Friday, man, is one of those that I think it wouldn't be as successful, I think, as a movie financially, or maybe or but I think the smarter move was to do a series, especially on the franchise like Friday. I think a series, Peacock, was a pretty good idea or a pretty good, choice, if you ask me. I'm still sad that we won't have Michael Myers movie in a couple of years, man. Yeah, for sure. Eduardo, I agree. It sucks, man. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure how bad Halloween Ends flop affects the upcoming Halloween movie. Because I'm pretty sure, man, if Halloween Ends was more successful, we would have gotten something a little bit sooner. We would have got a next movie coming sooner. Even excuse me, even if it was the end, we for sure would have gotten more stuff. But yeah, man, I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. If anything, I think the worst that can happen, man, is them make a completely new reboot. The Chucky TV show is basically a sequel to Seed of Chucky. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because like I said, it connects to that film, and like I said, I was interested, man, to see how it's gonna connect the dots. But at the end of the day, I was like, eh, you know, like I got better stuff going on, than to sit and watch this. And in Saw 5 too, I think. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I hate how the TV show Chucky explained how Chucky became. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the whole where they go to to his motherland or something like that. The main characters, the kids, they go to like where Charles Lee Ray was born, where he was raised or whatever. Yeah, man. I believe they showed that like in the first two episodes. It was just to me it was dumb, man. Like, don't get me wrong, in the first season, I know one of their main targets for the Chucky series was to kind of have some backstory in there of Charles Lee Ray. Um, and I think they did a pretty decent job with it in the season one. They were kind of having flashbacks here and there, but for them to go even more deeper on why he was evil and stuff like that, have them go to the motherland where Charles Lee Ray was born. Oh, and you go there, and oh, there happens to be a nun with a good guy doll. Like, it really was. Yeah, this show, the Chucky series, was strictly aimed for younger audiences, for yeah, younger audiences, man. It's not really as you know, it's not and I know the whole concept of it, a killer doll. Of course, that's horror comedy. So I don't think it was meant for Chucky to be like a horror series, but of course the original Child's Play, that feels like a horror film, man. It's a dark film. You could say Chucky isn't really cracking jokes every scene, so that's why I stick to the original, man. That's why the original is my favorite. They brought they brought back Glenn. Yeah, yeah. It's weird, man. Like honestly, Glenn was just one of those characters, man, where it was just not necessary, man. And like at one point, it was even confusing to me because the whole Glenn and Glenda. I don't know, man. I think that the Chucky series just went nowhere. Nah, it's basically that the therapist made him become bad when he was a child, which is stupid in my opinion. Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I didn't get I didn't get that far into season two, but I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, man, whatever they were gonna do, man, it was gonna be dumb. You know, I heard that another Terminator better than the two. Yeah, man. Those Terminator films, classics. Um, and I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard about a new Terminator movie, but it just that's a no no, man. Especially when you got the classics. Nowadays, marketing is mostly them pandering to pop culture and newer audiences. I agree with you, porn star. I agree with 500 for a Glenda. That's that's unheard of. That's unheard of. And I'm not sure if you go if you take a look at a few years back, horror wasn't as popular. Horror wasn't everywhere. If you go now, if you fast forward to today, you go to any store, go to Target, they have literally a whole horror section, you know. So definitely horror has dived into pop culture, and everything now is like porn star said, aimed for younger audiences, and I know for a lot of us that who are older, and we're still we're fans. It does kind of suck because at one point, man, horror was like, it wasn't as out there. You know what I mean? And that's simply because a lot of the more modern films, like for example Halloween 2018, the It remake, that's when I started to realize, man, the horror genre is definitely making a comeback, because it was dead at one point, man. Before that, we had a lot of these, modern horror films that were crap, you know, and some of these comebacks, for example, the 2018 Halloween, the It remake, they were pretty successful. So that's when a lot of horror, a lot of franchises came back. So yeah, man, it's all about the pop culture now, and it sucks. And 500 for a Glenda, yeah, I don't even see myself paying 500 for a damn Chucky doll by Trick or Treat Studios. Like, hell no, man. I was really excited when they were coming out with their dolls, but 500, come on now. But yeah, that's crazy. I doubt that Arnold Schwarzenegger, who returned to play this, of course, yeah, I don't think we would, man. I don't think, yeah, because that's such a classic role, man, a classic part. So I don't think that's necessary. There's a lot of films, man, that don't need no remake. Jaws. I'm surprised they haven't remade Jaws, man. Yeah, a lot of classics, man. I think they should just leave alone. Yeah, Eduardo. Yeah, I could kind of see that. Yeah, of course, man. Since he was, the Terminator, it will be disappointed. It wouldn't really be a Terminator movie without him. You know, but yeah, man. Who knows? Who knows? I said that too. They just want to make these new TikTok kids happy, not us, man. Yeah, man, I agree. You know what? Trip out on this. I've seen, especially during like the Halloween time, in October month, I've seen a lot of these like, and I'm not a big TikTok person. I don't have TikTok. I've downloaded it, like the app, a few times just to see what it was about, because TikTok took off, man. It's like it's bigger than Instagram, pretty much. It's bigger than all these other platforms now. I've seen a lot of people, man, like with their new trends and their new how do you say, yeah, their new trends, a lot of people be uh like doing these trends like in horror style, like how do you say, porn star, like how you said, it's for them to be pleased, mostly, not us, for them to be pleased, to be happy. But what about us, the fans? What about us? We're mostly the majority, and that's what I'm not the biggest fan of modern times, like especially horror, man. Don't get me wrong, we have gotten a lot of good modern horror movies, but sometimes it has come to a point, man, where there's a little bit too much horror out there. And don't get me wrong, I think it should be, and I think it should be um taken seriously, even though a lot of people don't. But at the same time, it's good seeing horror out there, but at the same time, like, people don't people don't see horror as us fans see it, you know? And I don't know, man. I could just go through, yeah, it is what it is, but I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy times we live in, man, nowadays, man. It's a trip. Like, sometimes I just sit back and reminisce, man. I wish I could live I wish I was this age a few years ago, 10 years ago. Man, I wish directors these days can create and no idea of horror movie rather than going back to classic, messing up. But yeah, man, and that's their main issue, man. They rather recycle stuff. They rather remake stuff, get classic titles, and just make money off of it rather than rather than coming out with new original ideas. It's unheard of, man. But I mean, that's been going on in Hollywood since day one. Remakes. Um, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good remakes out there, but there's also a lot of shitty ones. So I feel, man, if you're gonna do a remake, I don't suggest you touching it unless you know what you're doing. If you don't, just leave it alone. If you're gonna be like David Gordon Green or these other people who have a film that's about to come out in a year and don't got nothing for it, don't touch it. I suggest not for you to touch it because you're gonna you're gonna bring the whole ship down, and yeah, they should have been 300 at least. Yeah, I mean even 300 is still a little pricey, but yeah, man, it's kind of unheard of. It's basically a hit or miss when it comes to modern. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, they're either trash or they're either good. You know, that's how they are. Most modern. Yeah, most modern stuff is mostly a hit or miss. TikTok and Fortnite. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I downloaded it and made one way back in like 2017, but never used it. Yeah, and I believe TikTok existed from back then, right? Because I thought TikTok was just invented like 2020, like when it started, when it took off, when it became this sensation, global thing. I thought that's when TikTok first came out, but it looks like it's been out before, but it wasn't as big. That's interesting, man. Yeah, I downloaded it a few times, but I don't go deep in it. Yeah, we're the majority, but they're pleasing the minority. That's right. That's right. I agree. Porn star Jr. I agree, and I'm not sure if you're a guy or a female. I could see your profile picture, but it's all good. Porn star, it's all good. I think the spirit of Brandon Lee is stopping the new Crow remake enough. And I really hope that's the case, man. I really hope that's the case because I hope Brandon Lee's spirit stops these freaking people from making the remake, man. Because who was it? I think, oh yeah, Bill Skarsgård or whatever his name is, who played um Pennywise in it. He's playing Eric Draven in the new remake, which sucks. Which sucks. The whole idea of the Crow remake, nah, man. And I hope Brandon Lee, man, is doing his thing right now. Same thing with video games. The new Saint Rose game is nothing like the originals. Yeah, man, for sure. I'm pretty excited for the Five Nights at Freddy's. Hey, that's a long-awaited movie, man. I've been hearing about that movie since like 5 years ago, and I guess it's finally coming to fruition, huh? The I think it's Blumhouse, right? When everyone was stuck in the house, it took off like takeoff. Hell, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, 2020, the whole quarantine, the whole pandemic, it had to shut down, man. It had to shut down. People were bored. They were like, "Fuck it, let's hop on TikTok." Yeah, it changed a lot of shit, man. Like I seen a lot of stuff. TikTok been out, but it had a different name. It was called Musically. Oh, I see. I've heard of that. I heard of that. Oh, it was that before. Musically, yeah, it's pretty much what TikTok is now. You would like put a video and you could put music. Oh, okay, okay, it makes sense now. Yeah, because now that you bring it up, Eduardo, Musically, that was something from like 5 years ago. or more, from what I remember. And now TikTok is the, yeah, okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense now. Now, yeah, man, because like I said, I thought TikTok was barely created in 2020. And I guess some people been having it since before that, and that's what I kind of was like, what the hell, you know? That's interesting stuff, man. Like I said, I'm not big on social media like that. You guys could follow me on Instagram. That's like where I mostly am, other than YouTube. And my Instagram is Killer Zone Myers. So you guys should definitely go follow me there, man. You guys could hit me up. I don't really do lives on there. I mostly do lives on here, but it's the same map, but they just changed the name. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I remember that app, but I think they just merged. Yeah, I remember it too. Now that you brought up the name, like I remember it because I wouldn't use it, but I remember my girl at that time, she would use it, and that's how that's how you kind of brought it up. Josh Hutcherson and Matthew Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen that. The guy from Scream, um, Stu Macher. He. I guess he's doing the voice of Freddy for that movie. And they had a Dub Smash and Thriller. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah, I think I do. It sounds familiar now that you bring it up. God damn, I've been on. Oh, damn, I've been on here quite some time, man. Now, but yeah, man. I mean, I think that's gonna be about it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, man. I had a great time here today with you guys. I never use those types of ads because I'm not a goofy person on camera type of. Yeah, man. Yeah, all that. Not really, man. Not really like a selfie person. I rarely have. I don't even take pictures of myself. You know, porn. Yeah, porn. I agree with you. Yeah, same here. I don't really be doing all of that. Cheesiness, is filters, all that crap. Not for me, man. Not for me. But god damn, who's texting me? But yeah, man. I want to thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to hop on here. Like I said, I didn't expect to have a long conversation with you guys. But it's all good, man. I had a great time. Shout out to all of you guys who tuned in. Pornstar, JR, Eduardo. Who else was on here? Skull Crusher. Horror Fanatic 25, shout out. Joseph the Horror Guy. Brandon Loves Movies, Joseph. Yeah, shout out to all of you guys, man, who tuned in. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, hope you guys had a great Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your weekend, man. And stay tuned for more content, man. You guys already know we'll be having new content coming. We got the Billy mask right there. Yeah, man. Can't wait to show you guys some new stuff. And I'm gonna try to go a little bit more live, on throughout the week. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys who tuned in, decided to spend some time with me today on Christmas Day. Like I said, I didn't expect for a lot of people to join today because it's Christmas. People are with their family. But I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.